So let's have a look at the client record in the Business Builder and the Turbocharged editions of GetBookedUp. We've gone for a tabbed layout in the client's record, so we've got a top tab here that says Mr. Simmons, and then right at the top of the tab there's the client name and address details will be displayed. So whichever part of the client's record you're in, this name and address details will always be visible right at the top of the tab here. Just below that we've got a second row of tabs within this client details record. So we've got client details, and then the other tabs just allow you to quickly access the other areas of the client's record. So if you're dealing with sections in the diary, quotations, proposals, jobs, invoices, any documents that you're importing, and if they're a maintenance plan client, the maintenance plan details. So they're just immediately visible and accessible through that top set of tabs there. Now also within this client details tab we've got a second level of tabs here. And again, that's just more information that's available at a click. Just click the tab and the information's available. So we've got address tab, we've got a main details tab, directions, quote, referrals, repeat, groups, notes, old, and if the client's got a different billing address, the billing tab will also be on there as well. So we'll work quickly through these and explain what's in each of these. So we're on the client's details tab at the moment, and the first thing you'll notice at the top of here is just some key information that's available. So we've got things like average job spend, how much have they spent in the last 12 months and what have they spent in total. Key last service dates, so when was the last job, the last quote, the last invoice, and contact information, so when did you last contact this client, how long ago was that, and how long have they been a client since. So a lot of this information allows you to do marketing based on these dates that are automatically calculated and recorded by the system. And also the key marketing dates as well, so when was the last time that you actually sent them a letter, spoke to them on the telephone, or sent them an email. So that's just information that's available at a glance, and the system automatically displays that as you're entering information within the client's record. So we're on this address tab here on the client details tab, and this is the screen that will open when you create a new client. So the first thing here will be the inquiry source, so we ask every client where they heard about us, and you would choose from the list here, and you can customize this list. In this example we've set up a referral, and in the Business Builder and Turbocharged editions what that means is you can actually click the Find Referee button and actually allocate who it was that recommended this person to them. Now what that then will also do is automate the thank you letter to that person, and there's a separate video about that. Obviously then we also ask a second question, where did you find our number today? So it's important that we know that they've heard about us from a friend and record that it's a referral, but it's equally important that we've asked them where they got our number from. So in this example it's a leaflet. So that's again important for your analysis and reporting, and there's a separate video about the analysis and reporting that's available in these editions. Now we've got a powerful tool in here under the Find Address section, and it's where you can just put the house number and postcode in and click the Find Address, and it will automatically populate the name and address details that are in this section here. Now to use this you need to use a third-party piece of software that you need to buy separately, and I think it's about £79 a year for the license per computer that you have this installed on. What we prefer is the postcode search software. And if you look on our website there's details of how to find that software and the right version that they sell. It will automatically populate this address details box here with the correct format of the address, and that'll be from the postcode address file. So this is the address as the Royal Mail actually see the address details. Now the benefit of laying this address out in the postcode address file format is that if you're using somebody like DocMail or Mailboxes etc., or the Royal Mail Clean Mail service, you'll qualify for the highest discount that you can because the address is in the format that they prefer. Within this name and address details section as well, we've got a tick box here that you can put on that says they've got an alternative billing address. So if you tick that box, there'll be a tab appear here for billing, and if we just have a quick look in there, you'll see that you can set up a separate billing address that you can send information to about this client. So this is particularly useful if this is a property for a letting agent. You can put the address details here for the job, tick the alternative billing address, and then enter the letting agent's details on the billing tab. So that's just one way you can use that. The other thing that's in this address section here is the Add Directions button. So if the client says they're a little difficult to find, particularly like that just a house name only property, we can click the Add Directions button and it will take us straight to this tab here. And this is just a free text field that you can enter information into, and that'll automatically be printed on job cards and things like that and other paperwork. If we just go back to the address tab again and finish what's on there. Again, in the name and address details, there's a view address on map, and if you click this, it will take you to Google Maps, is the one that's set by default. It'll put the client's address on the map as a pin, and if you want to, you can go down to street level and look and see what the access is like. If you're using a truck mount and you want to make sure you're going to be able to get your van in and things like that. So that's just another little useful tool that's in that address details section. Also, we capture telephone numbers and emails, obviously. So we've got space for home, work and mobile number, and in this edition you've got the facility to click this button here alongside the number, and when you do that it will record that on the contact log as well as an actual telephone call that's being made, and then you're also able to make notes in the notes section, so you can record every contact that you've made with the client by just ticking the box alongside here. And similarly with the email address here, if you've got an email address, we can click the email button here, and that will open standard emails that you can set up within the system's document creator, and they can be standard emails that will be merged into, and you can send those direct from the client's record. And alongside the email address here as well, there's a little tick box. Now that's very useful if the client says they've not got a email address. You can put a tick in the box there, and that just records that you've actually asked the client if they've got an email address. So the next time you come into the record, if you see that the email address is blank but there's a tick in the box here, you know that you've at least asked them. And that was something that was added by a user who was embarrassed by asking the same client 3 times if they'd got an email address when they were trying to capture those. So that's just a useful little addition there that was suggested by a user. Below that, on this address tab, we've got the essential information, and we can set up the pricing area here. So in this edition you can customize and set up multiple pricing areas. In the trading name, you can set up different trading names for different areas, or if you provide different services, your traders a different name for stone care to carpet cleaning, you can set up a different trading name to print on those jobs. And also the client types, obviously fully customizable in this edition. While we're in this part of the client's record, it's worth pointing out we keep 2 separate comment fields, and the reason for that is one is what we call our public comments. So they're the comments that you don't mind the client knowing that you know. So things like they've got a Jack Russell dog called Jack, and then we've also got the private comments fields, and these are the comments that you don't want the client to know that you keep. So that's things like always haggles on price. So they're just 2 fields that yeah, you know what I mean, private and public comments and how to use them. The other part that's visible on this client details section when you're working on these tabs is the contact log at the right hand side, and as you look through some of the other videos you'll see how this builds up, but this will create a complete list of jobs that you've booked, quotes that you've booked, emails that you've sent, telephone calls that you've made. Any marketing campaigns that have gone out will be on here, and you can see how you can mark those as response today by clicking the button and things like that in some of the other videos. But the other useful tool in here is the follow-ups. Now that's a clever facility whereby it's a CRM system. You can click new follow-up, you can put a program in a time and date that the follow-up needs doing, and when you look at one of the videos you'll see how that works fully, but that just allows you to do full CRM. If the client asks you to contact them in a week, you can use that follow-up system to set that up, and then when you run the follow-up reports, it pops up on the day that it's due. So if we just work through the other tabs that are in this client details tab here, the next one along is the main tab, and once you've entered a new client's record, each time you come into the record in future it will open directly onto this main tab, because obviously you don't need to see the address once you've got it entered, because it's visible on the top of the record there. So it will open directly into the main tab, and it's going to prompt you there about the inquiry source. So where did you find our number today? And there is a tool in here that you can switch on or off that prompts you to check that this is correct every time. So it won't allow you to move on further on into the record until you've ticked that this is correct or chosen something here. And that's just one of the setup options that you've got in this Business Builder and Turbocharged editions. This next box down here is the details, and some of this information is just a duplicate of what's on the address tab. So we've got the price and area, trading name and client type, but then there's 2 more fields in this edition that are customizable. We've got the second one here and the third one here. This one's been set up as on MailChimp list and preferred technician, and again you can customize the content of these fields and also the caption on the field itself. So you can use this for different client types. So if you want to record the client type as commercial, and then you can put the second one here, you could put that as commercial type and set this up with hotel, nursing home, office, whatever you want. So again, completely customizable, those 2 fields there. We've got the truck mount, so you can record if there's truck mount access, if you've used it, if it's not suitable, and again you can customize the content of that field. We allow you to put your own reference number in, and if you're importing clients and you've perhaps got references from other software, you can put the old client reference in there on the imports, or you can just go from scratch and start using that from here. We allow you to archive records and set up your archive details in here, so you can use that. And then we've got a couple of custom tick boxes, and these are just a tick box that allows you to say that they belong to this group or whatever. It's a little bit different to the groups that I'll explain in a second, but these are two that are displayed right on this front screen, so it's obvious when you're in the record that they belong to these. So we've set this up in this demo as waitlist and free spot remover. So the waitlist that we have is if somebody says it's a little more expensive than they wanted to pay, we say, well, we have a waitlist where if you'll take a short notice booking, we'll let you know and we'll do a discount. Would you like me to add you to the waitlist? And that just allows us to tick this box here, and that adds them to the waitlist. The free spot remover is we give a free spot remover with web enquiries, so we can put a tick in the box there to say that they've had that free spot remover. So these two fields are customizable both in the caption and how you use them, so that's up to you how you want to go ahead and use those. We also have a moved on facility where if you tick the box, it will allow you to mark that this record's moved on, and then you can click the move to and create a new client record, and it will put quite a lot of the contact information through so that you can reference back to it if necessary. So that's a moved on facility. If they're a client that's on maintenance plan, you can tick using the maintenance plan, and that will make this tab on the top row here appear if they're on a maintenance plan. Obviously, if they're not a maintenance plan client, the maintenance plan tab isn't available on the top section. And from this main tab as well, we also have in the Business Builder edition the option to do a lot of printing of standard letters and things from this directly from the client's screen. So we can print letters from here, and you can choose any of the ones that you've set up in the built-in word processor, and also address labels, things like that. We have a direct envelope printing facility here, and all of these can be customized and set up in the built-in word processor. And then we've a couple of other little options in here, copy 1 and copy 2. They just copy details to the address tab, and then you can paste those into any other system that you may be using for doing something else, or if you just want to post those into anything really, it just copies the information to the clipboard to make it flexible and easy to capture information. And then we've got Do Not Mail Shots section, which is all about managing clients. And we allow you to split this, because obviously just because they've said they don't want emails doesn't mean they don't want mail shots. Or just because they don't want telesales calls doesn't mean they don't want emails. So we've split this into Do Not Mail Shot, no telesales calls, Do Not Email, and then there's also a facility on here. As one of the other videos you'll see that there's a daily marketing activity that can be done, and if you want to exclude those from those daily marketing activities, you can also put that in there and tick that. And we also allow you to put a reason in, so if they've unsubscribed from an email, you could put in there something like a MailChimp unsubscribe, and then that's covered so that when you look back into the record you can actually see why they've unsubscribed. So the next tab along is directions. We've already covered that briefly. This is free text directions to the client's property, so if they're tricky to find you can pop the details in here. That's automatically carried through onto lots of other paperwork, and you can enter that onto other reports and things. The next tab along then will be the quote tab, and this is where we record the client's testimonials. So the client comments we type into here, and we have the option to tick the box that says use client comment. So again, that's just a validation that allows the system to use those clever tools where it's automatically putting the information that you put in here and printing that on the bottom of the other quotations that you're printing for clients in this local area. And then in this edition we have the referrals tab. So the referrals tab allows us to see who's referred who. So obviously if this person's been referred by somebody, the information will be displayed here. And we also allow you to set up things like carpet shops and things that are referring you. So any source that's referring you on a regular basis, you can set those up in here as a referral lead, and then again the reporting allows you to just pull information about the number of jobs that have been passed by that referral source and things. And also you'll see here as well referred to. So what the system will do is it will build up a list of clients that this person's referred us to, and again you're able to do some very clever mailings based on mail shotting the person that's referred you and the people that they've referred them to. So just another clever powerful tool under the referrals tab there. The next tab along is repeat, and this is something that where the system scans and finds repeat buying patterns on the client's record. So as I'm recording this video, it's March 2013. So if the clients had the lounge carpet cleaned, for example, in March 2009 and March 2011, the system will track that repeat buying pattern and flag that in here. That they've had that carpet cleaned and the repeat period is 24 months. So then you can see that that we're actually 24 months since it was last cleaned, and you can therefore do a mailing. So the repeat buying pattern tool in here is very powerful and useful. The next tab along is groups, and you can fully customize these. You can add as many of these as you like, and we call these our marketing groups. One of the examples that's set up in this one is comment appearance, comment carpet, comment no one else. And what they are is when the comments that the clients make on questionnaires are entered into the system, if they've said that the carpet only took a few minutes to dry, it was almost dry when you left, and I wouldn't use anybody else for cleaning, you can put a tick in the box here that says dry time and no one else. And one of the ways that you can use this then is if you've got an inquiry from somebody who's concerned about drying time, you can actually pull up comments that have got the words in, the carpet dried in no time. So I think you can see that this is a very powerful tool. The other way that we use this is things like if we know what they do for a job, so if we know they're a nurse, teacher, things like that, if we can mark that in here and just put a tick in the box if we know they're a teacher. What that allows us to do is do mailings to all the teachers saying half term's coming up or the summer holidays are coming up, give us a call, we know you'll be off school. And again, one of the other features is employers. So if we know where they work, we can put a tick in the box here. And the example here is Chorus. Chorus have a 2-week shutdown period in their office. So we can know that we can write to everybody that works at Chorus and say the shutdown period is coming up, and we can mail those. So the groups is a very powerful tool, and if you become a user, we can help share a lot of the ideas that are available in here. You may have also noticed as well at the top we've got a birthday, so some people like to send out a birthday card to their clients. You can put the date and the month in here, and again filter for those and send mailings out based on those. The other facility that we've got in the Business Builder is the Notes tab. So this is really useful for if you've got multiple people using the system, or you've got perhaps a complaint client that you're dealing with. What this allows you to do is put notes on the system. Anybody else or whenever you come back into the client record, it will open on this notes section showing you the note. So if you've, for instance, you've tried to organise to deliver the rug, so you made a telephone call and there was no reply, you can put a note in here so that if somebody else calls, if somebody else answers the phone when the client calls in, the note's there immediately that you've tried to contact them and you're waiting for a call back. Or if you've got a complaint that you're dealing with, again you can pop a note in here that this is a complaint, there's an outstanding issue, so that if somebody answers the phone who's not aware to this client calling in, that note's immediately visible on there. The next tab along here is old, and that's basically allows you to, on importing clients, allows you to put any information that's in the old section of the import field will be displayed in here. Sometimes it's a way of getting previous job information in and things like that. And then, as I say, we've discussed already the billing tab, so if there's a different billing address to the address that's on the record, you can pop the details that are in here. So that gives you a good run through on what's on the client details tab there. As I say, the other ones are diary. You can go straight into the diary from the client's record from here. This is all the quotations detail will be in here, proposal details, job details in this tab here, invoice details in this tab here, any documents that you've scanned in or you just want to attach into the record can be attached here, and the maintenance plan, if they're a maintenance plan client, that's displayed on here. So that is an overview of what's in the client record and the layout that we use in the GetBookedUp Business Builder and Turbocharged editions.